Commitment to use exceptional communication, always being accessible, and always being responsive. Call Wedemark Keith today. It's more to us. It's personal.
Count on Local 3 News for the local stories that affect your life.
We're going to talk about selling your house this morning, but not really in the traditional way. So happy to have Lee Gates, Thomas DeMoss back on the show. They have Chattanooga Property Solutions, and the solution that y'all bring really is especially to homeowners who just might not want the hassle of going through the real estate, the realtor side of selling the house, and instead just doing it kind of as is. With y'all, is that right?
It is true, and once again, to disclose, I do have my real estate license, so this is not an attack against real estate agents. They do provide a great value, but a lot of times what we do with our experience of, 400 or 500 folks that we've helped?
Over 500.
A lot. We have seen things that a lot of agents won't experience, and that's what we want to share.
So part of what y'all do, though, is you have really big hearts that take you to these particular properties. Sometimes it's just kind of a typical business transaction, but often, like this one on, is it Birmingham Drive?
Birmingham
Drive that happened with you recently, Thomas. It could have been a very different outcome for this homeowner were it not for you.
It could, and that's what we want to tell people is like, in our business, you can slap a sign up on a telephone pole that says we buy houses for cash. You need to be careful who you're dealing with. We tell people to check us out. Don't take our word for it. Hear our reviews. Miss Terry Gortney had a brother, Roger, had a property right next to a rental property that we own. The house had gotten in some pretty bad condition, and Roger just didn't want people to know about it. We were able to connect with his sister Terry, let her know what was going on. I mean, it was she praised us, gave us a great review, and we were able to help her and her brother make new living arrangements, actually get him out of a house that really wasn't good for him to live in.
There are multiple things about that particular story. One, if he can't maintain the house, that becomes a danger to him.
It is. Yes.
Also, you shouldn't have to ever feel ashamed or embarrassed. Life can make a turn real quickly for people.
Yeah, and that's the thing, is Roger had a great heart. He had helped some other family members out, and unfortunately had taken advantage of him, and that's kind of left him in that situation.
A lot of the traditional market when it comes to real estate have expectations that have been baked in thanks to TV shows or you know, your neighbors keeping up with the Joneses or something like that. And I think one of the things that we're often really good at doing is living in the real world. And that means houses that aren't perfect. They're not show ready, frankly. That's what we're good at. And after you've walked through thousands of those, that's just a Tuesday in the office for us to figure out a way to help.
Okay, now you had a similar experience, Lee, with a house on, is it Leslie?
Yes, ma'am, yeah. So that was different. That was actually a vacant house, and this is not an uncommon thing in our world. It was a home that Jamie had inherited. His father had lived there for years and years and had passed away, and the family had great intentions for what they wanted to do with the house, and it was helpful for a while for some other family members to be in, but again, that condition caught up to them. And it needed some really significant repair. It was more than they really were willing to take on. And so having the freedom to solve that problem very quickly, very smoothly, didn't cost them a dime out of pocket. They didn't have to deal with a single commission or closing cost or anything like that. And again, was a big win all around, and really proud of that.
So how does it, like, let's say, because I know that these are kind of two specific examples, but you mentioned you've done 500 of these or more. So when it happens, is there any such thing as a typical transaction, or are they all kind of customized to the individual?
Yeah, that's funny. I don't think, we talk about this, we joke, like, we really wish one of these could be streamlined and systematic, but they're not. Every client that calls us that has a property, they're unique. And he's great with figuring out what the issues are and then letting them know the path to releasing that burden.
And that factors in a lot of things. Real estate is valuable. The money side of things is really important. But I think often when we're able to serve someone best, it's by taking into account things like time. Do you need to close in a week? And then have time to get relocated after that?
But you don't
or is it
like-
better to close in 2 months?
But you don't like people to come at the very last minute, because then they can't get the best for what they need.
If we could preach that message, it does. I mean, we're saying this genuinely. It breaks our heart to not be able to solve somebody's problem, and it's not because we couldn't do it. It's because the time that we were allowed to do it, we just ran out.
That's rare, but it happens.
It does.
If there's a deadline coming at someone, reach out sooner than later to somebody.
When they call you, are they going to talk to one of y'all, or is one of you going to at least go and look at the house?
Absolutely.
Yep.
He's the one that's
It'd
going
be
to
one of us or Sarah, who lives in Ottawa.
And then do you kind of walk through the house and say, you know what, I can buy it totally as is for this, but if you want to take care of this on this side, then it would cost you this much? I mean, do y'all kind of negotiate?
We're open to anything. Frankly, it's rare that part of what makes us good at our job is doing good rehab. And so it's often the case that, yes, someone could do something. We're able to do that very well. So when it comes to negotiating, repairs are almost never part of that.
Let me show people how they can get in touch with you. It's Chattanooga Property Solutions. More than 500 homes they've helped people take off their hands and get on with their lives. 454-3070 online, ChattanoogaPropertySolutions.com.
July 4th at Linderman's Furniture means we pay your sales tax. Leather reclining sofas, $500.